1.7 billion euros paid by the UAE to bring in at least 20 Brazilian-made transport aircraft this year in 2026, leaving behind the European-made C-130J Super Hercules and the A400M Atlas. The UAE has instead taken an option that aligns with what Korea, Portugal, and several other European countries have done, who are all interested in the technology of this Brazilian-made transport monster. On the flip side, the situation in the Strait of Hormuz is heating up again after Iran and the United States significantly escalated their military actions in that crucial waterway. These two pieces of news are highly interesting to discuss, so let's go through them one by one, starting with Iran and America. On Monday, May 4, 2026, U.S. Army AH-64 Apache and MH-60 Seahawk helicopters destroyed 6 Iranian military speedboats. This deadly response was taken after the U.S. stated that those small Iranian vessels were maneuvering very aggressively. They were practicing dangerous approaches and directly threatening the navigation of commercial merchant ships in and around the Strait of Hormuz. This incident also confirms reports from military officials that Iranian forces aren't just targeting the merchant fleet, but have also launched new attacks specifically aimed at U.S. warships in the region. All of this is happening within the context of a large-scale military operation recently launched by the United States, officially named Project Freedom. The main goal of this initiative is to restore freedom of navigation in one of the world's most strategic waterways, and to secure safe passage for commercial ships that have been threatened or even blocked since the beginning of the year. The head of U.S. Central Command, or CENTCOM, Navy Admiral Brad Cooper, announced that the U.S. has concentrated massive combat power and firepower in the Gulf waters. This strike force is no joke. In the air, the U.S. military is deploying its full strength. This includes squadrons of AH-64 Apache and MH-60 Seahawks for close quarters engagement. On top of that, their air defense umbrella is reinforced by a lineup of fighter jets and tactical support aircraft. At sea, this force is backed by a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier strike group, Arleigh Burke-class destroyers capable of intercepting ballistic missiles, maritime patrol aircraft, unmanned platforms or recon drones, and specialized assets for detecting and neutralizing naval mines. In total, there are about 15,000 elite American military personnel fully dedicated to expanding the defense umbrella for this mission. Admiral Brad Cooper also explained that in the latest confrontation, Iranian forces didn't just use speedboats. They also tried to use drone swarms and missile systems to target American military and commercial assets. However, thanks to advanced electronic warfare systems and the quick response of armed helicopters, all of Iran's weapons and aerial maneuvers were completely thwarted, and all 6 of those Iranian speedboats were sent to the bottom of the ocean. Right now, it's estimated that hundreds of international cargo ships are stranded outside the region due to the rising risk of conflict. Tens of thousands of crew members are stuck, waiting for the waters to be declared safe so they can continue their journey. U.S. President Donald Trump made a strong statement regarding this tension. In an interview on Monday, Trump bluntly stated that Iran could be wiped off the face of the earth if they continue their attacks on ships and American personnel involved in Project Freedom. Trump reiterated Tehran's posture, pointing out that Iran practically lacks a strong surface navy. They have no modern air force, inadequate anti-aircraft equipment, no radar network, and their leadership is currently in a vacuum. But interestingly, amidst these harsh threats, President Trump also believes that Tehran has quietly shown a much more flexible stance in ongoing negotiations, hinting at a possible diplomatic opening amidst a highly confrontational climate. On the other hand, the Iranian government strongly denied that their ships were destroyed. They accused the U.S. of exaggerating the incident, while warning that they will continue to react to the presence of foreign militaries in the Gulf region. Meanwhile, responding to the instability and the potential for a wider conflict in the Middle East, the UAE government is taking highly aggressive military modernization steps. On Monday, May 4, 2026, the Brazilian aerospace company Embraer officially signed a massive contract in Abu Dhabi with the Tawazun Council for Defense Enablement. This contract secures a large-scale acquisition of a fleet of C-390 Millennium jet-powered tactical transport aircraft for the UAE Air Force and Air Defense. The agreement, signed by Dr. Nasser Hamad Al Nawimi and Bosco da Costa Jr. and witnessed directly by Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, marks the first time this jet aircraft has entered the Middle Eastern military market. This strategic deal includes a firm order of 10 aircraft, along with purchase options for 10 more, effectively setting the maximum fleet size at 20 planes. While the official contract value wasn't released to the public, estimating the price per unit at around 80 to 85 million euros, the total value of this procurement program is projected to hit between 800 and 1.7 billion euros if all options are exercised, making the deal the largest single-country export commitment for the C-390 program, and also one of the most massive air defense acquisitions in the UAE's transport sector in recent years. The choice of Embraer's C-390 wasn't made without solid technical reasons. This procurement comes after a very rigorous testing and operational evaluation within the UAE, under extreme local environmental conditions. The aircraft was tested in the blistering heat of the Middle East and simulated operating from dirt or semi-paved runways. Looking at the technical specs, the C-390 Millennium twin-jet cargo aircraft is powered by IAE V2500E5 turbofan engines. Each engine produces 31,000 pounds of thrust, allowing the plane to cruise at a constant speed of Mach 0.8 or about 870 kilometers per hour. This speed leaves turboprop planes in the same class in the dust, like the older C-130 Hercules, which only operates around Mach 0.5. The C-390 can swallow up to 26,000 kilograms of pure logistics payload. Its cargo hold is massive, measuring 18.5 meters long, 3.45 meters wide, and 2.9 meters high. In a combat configuration, the belly of this plane can carry 80 infantry troops, 66 paratroopers, or can be converted into an emergency flying hospital capable of holding 74 medical stretchers. All of this can be loaded quickly through the rear ramp door, which is designed to support cargo loading operations and low-altitude extraction techniques. The arrival of this aircraft is designed to bridge an operational gap in the UAE's air power structure. The C-390 will fill the space between the slower propeller-driven C-130 Hercules and giant cargo planes like the Boeing C-17 and Airbus A400, whose operational costs really drain the state budget. With the support of fly-by-wire avionics, the crew's workload is drastically reduced, significantly increasing the flight cycle ratio during urgent logistical movements. The speed provided by these jet engines allows the tactical fleet to move combat troops, artillery, and humanitarian aid twice as fast. The most crucial clause in this defense agreement is the requirement for Embraer to collaborate with the UAE's national defense industry. The Brazilian manufacturer is required to transfer technology knowledge and build full domestic facilities for maintenance, repair, and spare parts availability. This domestic sustainment infrastructure is incredibly important because it will reduce the UAE's Air Force's cargo jets' reliance on external support networks. In an era where global supply chains can be cut off at any moment due to military escalation and geopolitical sanctions, this self-sufficiency in fleet maintenance ensures that the UAE Air Force's cargo jets will always be ready to take to the skies, defending the nation's sovereignty without limits. And that's all the information we can share for now, military friends. See you next time. Keep your spirits up and stay healthy.